It's probably going to be one of the first things out of their mouth. And you know what? Good for them.
It says no motorcycles. Why not? 221B. Uh-oh. Nice.
Generation Charlestonian. And those of us born and raised here in the great city of Charleston, we're kind of a dying breed nowadays.
So I'm gonna keep walking, head back to my motorcycle, and keep this journey on two wheels. That's what I love to do. Stay tuned.
That has what I like to call the eye candy of Charleston.
Hey y'all, it's your girl HondaHarleyGurl. I am outside, heading to Columbia, South Carolina. Looks like I'm about to run into a bunch of traffic already. I am definitely behind schedule, but that's okay, because I'm on my own time. I'm still gonna take it easy, take my time, get there safe. I know the traffic towards Charleston gets even worse, but I definitely want to make the market and take these pictures, so I'm gonna keep pushing. I won't need a gas stop. My whole tank should get me there. Oh, that's what's happening. Them state troopers be tripping. That's one thing I don't miss about Carolina. Them state troopers, they go get you. They go get you. All right, we'll keep it pushing. I'll talk to y'all soon. Oh, I want to say shout out to my grandmother and my great aunt. You know, the older generation, they never allow you to leave empty-handed. And I definitely got blessed on my way out the door. So I appreciate my family for that. Thank God for them. Thank God for family. Talk to y'all later. Okay, so I'm rolling on I-26 East, heading to the low country. It's a little windy out here, and the traffic was just being a little stubborn, but they moved it around. I have like an hour-and-a-half ride, and it's really just a straight shot. But time's not on my side because everything in Charleston, South Carolina that I want to do closes super early. I'm so used to the late closing thing, but this is a southern city, so they 9 to 5 business hours. I'm gonna be able to do a little bit of what I wanted to do. I really want to go to the market on Meeting Street, so as long as I get to do that, I'll be okay. Here we go. Look at all these hills. Beautiful. I'm a little over 80, but I'm not gonna speed because that was some advice given to me. Don't speed. Then my auntie just told me pay attention, and that's the best advice ever. Don't speed and pay attention. So now that I am ahead of the traffic, I'm actually get over and let this red truck have it. I wish I would have left out earlier, but all is well. I'm right on time. Little do I know it or not, I'm right on time. Dang, I think my motorcycle payment is due. Boy, the bills don't stop. Give me a break, Lord Jesus. Yup, it's due. I gotta pay for you, boo. I am entering Charleston, South Carolina. It's 4:19. I just had a lot of good curves, and I definitely took advantage of them and weaved in and out of traffic real quick. But that's what I love to do. But I'm excited. I finally made to Charleston on two wheels. And let's go have a good time with the time that I do have here. I'm low-key mad at myself because I left my house keys in Columbia. So it's like I have to go back and get those keys because I need them when I get back to Florida. I can't depend on the United States Postal Service, so I'm gonna have to go get them. 221B, that's my exit. 9 minutes away. But check out Charleston, the bridges, the beautiful skies. I would love to cross that bridge, but we'll see how time permits. Right now, I'm really trying to get downtown Charleston to Meeting Street. Ooh, I wish I had a high noon right now. All right, stay focused. 221B. That's where we going to. 221B. 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 22221B. New apartments. Okay. I haven't been down here in years, and I'm excited to be here. I got a couple of murals. Ooh, I think we should slow it down. Okay, it says I'm going to the right. Ooh, I need to get over. Thank you, baby. Oh man, they really building up. Oh, churches, child. I may have to go get me a 2-piece. Yep, 2-piece feast for $3.49 with that honey biscuit. Okay, what I was saying, they're building up the residential area out here, I see. Okay, the marketplace. So I'm gonna park real quick, get out, walk it. I'm hoping to find some okra chips. I think I gotta turn right here. Big bed breakfast. Okay. I wanted to do the horse carriage ride, but I'm too late. Ooh, hate speed bumps. I would love to go up there on that bridge and pull over, but I don't think you could pull over. I don't think that would be smart either. But we're not looking for smartness. We're looking for experience. We need experience, honey. Green light, East Bay Street. Frankie's Fun Park. I had a lot of good birthdays at Frankie's Fun Park. Look at the letter K. I don't know what it stands for, but it must be for Kira. And that's me. So cool. Okay, the project's still up. Circle K gone. Is it? No, it's not. I remember going to that post office a lot of times. I never really cared for Charleston growing up because every time I came down here, I felt the spirits of the ancestors. And I also just always got prejudiced vibes out here. It was just always a white person being mean and prejudiced. And I'm like, what's up? What's in your spirit, boo? Because you don't even know me. I don't even know you. I'm not even looking at you. You know, your energy is so negative. It's causing me to recognize it, and I don't like that. So I didn't really care for this place. Then the more I learned and the more I had to come down here for business, I developed a like for it. It's not a love, it's a like. And it's still a part of, you know, my history and the state that I am from. So I wanted to come ride 2 wheels out here and just tour the city on 2 wheels and be great. Your girl just want to be great like everybody else. Yeah, I'm glad you rethought that. Parking up here. Okay, here we are on Meeting Street. Oh, the carriage ride. I mean, I may still have time to do it. Do I want to do it? I kind of do. Then I kind of don't. Right now, I'm going to just ride down the market side. See if it's even worth walking. Just circle it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to circle around the market. I could do a horse carriage ride. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I only have like 30 minutes to think about it. Less than 30 minutes. I think I could actually turn. So I'm going to do that. Who wanna play with Nikki? Got the power, got the... I can spray like 15. They're promoting the... Oh, see? There it goes right there. That's what I wanna do. Kinda, sorta. Oh, they have this good candy shop over here. The Fudgery. Yep, that's it. Maybe I shouldn't. Who wanna play with Nikki? Oh, child, no left turn. Yeah, I don't think the market is worth walking in because it's closing. But there it goes. I'm gonna do a horse carriage ride. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna catch a horse carriage ride. Oh, there go Hyman's. Hyman's seafood is pretty good. But everything's fried. I'm really not in the mood for no more fried food. I know I said I wanted a 2-piece, but I was just joking. Nothing too fried. I ain't into fried right now. Ooh, my knee hurting for some reason. No, this is too isolated right here. I want to turn up in there and park. Thank you, Jesus. Oh. They discriminating on the motorcycles. Are they serious? Oh, I'm gonna go turn around. It says no motorcycles. It says no motorcycles. Why not? I think I saw a part right here. That shit said no motorcycles. Okay, thank y'all for being up to date. How do I? This is aggravating. So I guess I use this one? Okay. Oh, there's a parking garage over here too. Let me see what the parking garage talking about. Hey y'all, it's your girl HHG, and I am in Charleston, South Carolina. I made it from Columbia to Charleston in the nick of time. I'm at the market right now, but it is closing. So I barely made it, but I am going to do a carriage ride at 5. Ooh, I got like 8 minutes to get over there, so let me go do that. And y'all stay tuned for Charleston, South Carolina. All right.
And some from Ohio, some from Pennsylvania, and some from.
I love the
Absolutely, yeah. Besides once the tracks are out of the way this morning. As we roll out the back of the barn here, you're getting a view of what we call at Palmetto our 4-legged employee break room. This is where all of our ponies get dressed in the morning, where they get undressed in the evening, where they take their bath and shower, and where they hang out when they're not out on tour. Thanks to those fans and sunshade, on average, it's about 15 to 20 degrees cooler back here than it is actually out on the streets of Charleston. For that reason, it's not uncommon to also see our 2-legged employees back here hanging out in the heat of the summertime. Now, has anyone on this carriage ever done a carriage tour before? You have, ma'am. Fantastic. Well, then if I go down, you're going to be in charge.
I can handle it.
All you got to do is take this boy's nose up here, you point it back in the direction of that barn. You know, he might run some stop signs, he might sideswipe some cars, but he's going to find his way back. I promise you that. He knows these streets about as well as I do. And he does have a vested interest in getting back to that barn, because that barn is where both his food and his beer is. Yes, I did say his beer. The city of Charleston actually requires us to give all these working horses 4 beers every day. 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. Now our horses, they drink Yingling. The Old South horses, they get Guinness. There's some enzymes specifically in darker beers that help horses sweat and regulate their temperature. So not only is it delicious and they love it, but it's good for them. You know that old Toby Keith song, Whiskey for My Men, Beer for My Horses? Yep. Well, it's not just a darn catchy tune, it's based in reality. How about that? We're already learning stuff.
So is that true?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely true. I swear, it's a city requirement, city law, that we have to give these horses beer every day. Now guys, my name's Michael. I'm gonna be your tour guide today. I'm a 4th generation Charlestonian. And those of us born and raised here in the great city of Charleston, we're kind of a dying breed nowadays. There's not many of us left. The latest statistic I saw, it said there's about 15% of our population nowadays here in Charleston was born here and raised here. And there's less and less of us every day, because there's about 30 to 35 new people moving to Charleston. And it has the 2nd largest historic district in the entire world. Second only to a little town you might have heard of called Rome, Italy. So for me to show you the whole thing in a horse-drawn carriage, it would be together all day long. It's just not feasible. So about big boy, if they catch me outside of that zone, well then that's a $1,087 ticket that goes straight to me, not to the company. So we gotta know our zones and know where we're going. Now we got a golden ball out of that machine, guys, and that's really great stuff. That gold ball means that I'm gonna get to show you Charleston's brand new sewage wastewater treatment facility. It's a real modern marvel of engineering. I mean, wait till y'all see this. Everyone is always very impressed. Oh, excuse us. So, that gold ball, guys, that's the ball that everyone wants and very few people get. There's less gold balls in that machine than any other one. That zone 1, that has what I like to call the eye candy of Charleston. We're gonna be going past everything that everyone wants to see. We're gonna go down Broad Street, we're gonna see the Exchange Building, we're gonna see Rainbow Row, we're gonna see the water, the harbor, the beautiful mansions along the Battery. That is the zone that everyone wants and very few people get. So we're lucky this afternoon. This is my 4th tour of the day, 1st gold ball of the day. So let's get it. Cobblestones are all uniform in size and shape, whereas ballast stones are just irregular river rock. And these rocks were brought over here in the hulls of the tall sailing ships that were coming to Charleston. Somewhere between 300 and 800 ships every week were coming to Charleston to load up on our agricultural goods, our rice, our cotton, our indigo. And these ships were tall and top heavy. They don't need the rocks anymore. They throw them out of the ships, and we are not gonna let them go to waste, so we build roads out of them. Just as we pass this wall, you're gonna see what is undoubtedly the smallest house on State Street, potentially one of the smallest houses in downtown Charleston. It's a beautiful little tiny thing. If you see the address there under the lantern, it says 8.5. Well, what's up with that? Now, that building was originally a dependency. You're up to the top, he's quoted as saying up there, well, I don't think this building destroys the skyline, but if it does, it's worth it for this view. Those top 2 floors up there now in the People's Building are some of the most expensive residential real estate in the entire city of Charleston. I think they last sold for like $15 million or something like that, which isn't that much. George Washington parties when he comes to Charleston in 1791. After the Revolutionary War, George Washington kind of went on a tour of the southern states. No, sir, you're going that way. Where do you think you're going, big boy? We'd never go that way. So he came on a tour of the southern states, and he was coming into Charleston. He was supposed to only be here for one night. But as George was coming into Charleston, he put out an invitation to any young ladies that wanted to dance with him. He said, I'm coming to Charleston. If y'all want to dance with me, show up to the party, and I'll happily take the time to dance with anyone that shows up. What he didn't expect was around 250 women to show up. Now, being the gentleman that George was, of course, he was going to take the time to dance with all of them that wanted to dance with him. So they had to extend that party 3 extra nights. He was in Charleston for 4 nights, and supposedly he danced with all these ladies. Now, shops for the sailors coming in. They were taverns. They were houses of negotiated affection, to put it lightly. But you know, they basically tended to all the sailors. Charleston's preservation movement gets started. All thanks to the efforts of one single lady, a woman by the name of Susan Pringle Frost. Now, I don't think she's related to the chip company, but I gotta do a little more research. She could have invented Pringles for all I know. I don't think so, though. But she was Charleston's first female realtor. If I know the difference in those 2 words, if you're naked, well, that simply means you don't have any clothes on. But if you are naked, well, that means you don't have any clothes on and you're up to something. So you can see how it could have been an issue. But I'm here to tell you, to this day, don't be surprised what you may or may not see on those piazzas later in the evening time. I've seen some shenanigans going on out here in the evening. All right, this is one of my favorite architectural style houses in the city coming up here on the right, this white one. This is what we call the compromise house. Now, the story goes is that the husband and wife that were building this house, they couldn't quite decide on what architectural style they wanted. So they did what all good couples should do. They compromised. Split the house right down the middle. The husband got his Greek Revival style columns, and the wife got her Italianate beautiful round porches. So, you know, can't decide what you gotta do, just split it down the middle. Why not? Who cares? Put 2 totally different, conflicting architectural designs on the house. Who cares? What a beautiful house nonetheless. All right, let's clear it up. On our right, not this house here, but the next one is the Edmondson Alston House. And it's one of Charleston's 5 current historic house museums. Well, you take your last crumpled up dollar and you bet them that they are not from Charleston. I guarantee you win that bet every single day. Does anyone happen to know where Battery Park is? Battery Park is in New York, that's right, yes ma'am. And if there's one thing we're not in the business of here in Charleston, it's having ourselves confused with New York. So it's not Battery or White Point Gardens, never Battery Park. But we got some beautiful houses coming up here on our right. This beautiful Greek temple style here, kind of reminiscent of the White House almost. This is a house called Villa Margarita. And it was built by a couple named after their daughter, Margaret. And a little while after Margaret was born, her father died. And not wanting to live in this massive house down here in Charleston with just her and her daughter, she opens it up and runs it as a hotel. It's one of the finest hotels in all of Charleston during its tenure. And it was also unique among Charleston houses because it was the first house to have an indoor swimming pool. Now this is where President Taft stays when he comes to Charleston in the early 1900s. At that time, in 1905, this hotel was selling a bowl of turtle soup, Diamondback terrapin soup, that cost $25. I think my coworkers and I did the math on that. $25 in 1905 translates to about $800 today. So that's a very expensive bowl of turtle soup. Now this house right here, this is the only house down here on the Battery that dates before the Revolutionary War. This house actually belonged to William Washington, who was George Washington's cousin, house of your dreams. That note also contained a check for $75,000. Now this is back in 1980. Again, not quite sure what that translates to today and money-wise, but you can bet it's a lot. Now Maddie Williams, she was marrying a man named Warren Carrington. And the Carringtons were a very well-to-do New York jewelry family. They said, well, we're not going to be outdone. If they're going to build you the house of your dreams, well, we're going to send you on the honeymoon of your dreams. The Carringtons paid for the couple to tour North America for 2 whole years, as long as it took for the house to be built. And you know, at the end of that 2 years, Mr. Williams kind of had to get on Maddie. He's like, hey, your house is done. I miss you. Get your butt back to Charleston. I know you're having fun traveling around, but you got to come back. Your house is done. And Maddie comes back to Charleston, and she sees the house. She says, I love it. It's beautiful, but I think it might be a little small. Sounds ungrateful, but I'll show you her father's house, the house she grew up in a minute. It's the largest single private. But all that depends on whether the house has what I call significant historic provenance. If that house belonged to someone like Thomas Hayward, who signed the Declaration of Independence, well, then it's going to cost you a heck of a lot more than if it's just some run-of-the-mill old house. And I'll promise you this, while y'all are in Charleston, if you happen to meet anyone that lives south abroad, you're going to know, because they're going to tell you. Just like if they're a vegan or do CrossFit, it's probably going to be one of the first things out of their mouth. And you know what? Good for them. They worked hard. They can afford those houses down there in the most expensive part of our city. Good for them. Let them talk about it. Now, I do have friends that live north abroad. And it seems like no matter how far north abroad they get, they'll always tell me, well, Michael, you know, I only live slightly north abroad. Always trying to stay close to that dividing line. You'll find that Charleston is the only city in North America, maybe the world, where it's a good thing to be a snob in the United States. And if you've been to New Orleans, you might notice that their French Quarter is a lot more fun than ours. In the graveyard is actually Edward Rutledge, the youngest signer of the Declaration of Independence. He was just 26 years old when he signed it. I'm almost 30. I got to get my life together. I ain't done anything near as impressive. But over in the cemetery, a couple notable folks. You got Christopher Gadsden. He was one of the Sons of Liberty during the Revolution here in Charleston, and he invented the Gadsden flag, that yellow flag with the rattlesnake on it that says, "Don't tread on me." Also notable in the cemetery is the grave of twice Vice President of the United States, Mr. John C. Calhoun. Now, Calhoun, a lot of people will tell you they see his ghost walking across Church Street here late at night. And I believe it. Now, Calhoun, he wasn't from Charleston. He actually died up in D.C., and he thought Charleston was a hotbed of sin. He hated it here. He didn't want to be buried here. During the transatlantic slave trade, there was around 400,000 West Africans brought across the Atlantic Ocean to be put into slavery here in North America. And out of that 400,000, 40% of them entered through the port of Charleston. That translates to today that a little less than half of all African Americans in North America can trace their lineage back to the city of Charleston. And that includes such famous folks as former First Lady Michelle Obama, as well as stand-up comedian and actor Chris Rock, who nowadays is actually more famous for getting slapped than he is for telling jokes, but you know, he's still famous. That's all he cares about. That's all good. And that brings me to my favorite place in town. The place where you're most likely to find me and my father after a long day's work, sitting there trying to solve the world's problems. I know we may not be doing a good job, but we are trying. And that is Henry's Seafood, Jazz and Seafood. Henry's Jazz and Seafood. Now, Henry's has more than seafood, and they never play jazz anymore, but that sign's more than 75 years old, so it's historically protected. They can't take it down or change it. Henry's is actually the oldest still open restaurant in all of South Carolina. It opened in February of 1932 on the same day that Johnny Cash was born. So they got a lot of Johnny Cash memorabilia and stuff in there. As we roll up here, you'll see there's a photo of a man behind the plexiglass out front, and that is Chef Anthony. Chef Anthony has been the head chef at Henry's here for going on 35 years. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I promise you there ain't nothing broke about Henry's. I'm actually the 4th generation of my family to drink in Henry's. Back in the 1940s, you could have found my great-grandmother in there dancing as a flapper. So I got that going for me. She'll take this back to the city. They'll put that ping pong ball back in the machine, and round the carriage wheel goes. But if you're looking for an old line historic place, a place that makes the best old fashioned in town, a place with some of the best she crab soup in town, Henry's is your spot. But on the other hand, if you're looking for something, I don't know, a little more nouveau, a little more avant-garde per se, you got the booze pops. The booze pops are the only way that you can legally walk around the city of Charleston with alcohol in your hand. They were made legal by our last mayor because he said, that's not a drink, that's a food. Clearly, he's lost his mind. He's totally forgotten what happens to ice when it's 95 degrees outside. It quickly melts and returns right back into a cocktail. Now that said, I like the blue raspberry, but they're about 17%, so I can only have 1 or 2 before work. Otherwise, I get all fat tongue and stumble over my words too much. Can't talk too good. I don't know if they'll give you a DUI driving a horse, but I'm not trying to find out. Please don't be strangers. And while you're in town, if there's ever anything we can do for you at the Big Red Barn, please don't be strangers. Come on by, you know? Whether it's restaurant recommendations, directions, you just want to pet and love on some horses, whatever it is, we'd love to see you.
Istanbul. Okay, it looks like it. Nice. Thank you.
Everything here is hand painted or handmade. Nothing from the factory in here. From here on up are made from recycled carpets.
Cool. Do you do any of the work?
No, everything is imported from Turkey.
Oh, okay. So it's, okay.
Yeah, if we did it, it would be a big operation.
Right. This is really nice.
Turkish towels, you know them?
No.
No. Okay.
Like after a bath, you use them?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the bath, use them on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah, because they are sand resistant. It's not like terry cloth, terry cloth.
Right.
Yeah. These don't hold sand.
That's awesome.
You can use it as a shawl or a wrap. They are very absorbent. They dry fast. Yeah.
The lights are very attractive.
Yes, always. Mm-hmm.
I've been to Istanbul airport 2 times.
Oh yeah, you
and
said so. You know.
Yeah, so when you said it, I'm like,
mm-hmm.
let me just feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Some of the carpets, the old carpets, are 60 years old.
Okay.
These are typical Turkish shoes. These are also made from recycled carpets, bags. The big bags you see on the floor, these here.
Nice.
And then we have the carpet.
Awesome. Like, why have this type of shop here?
Because they don't have nothing like that here.
Okay.
We have 2 shops. There's one on King Street. We used to have 2 shops. Then we closed that down. Then another guy moved in over there.
Okay.
But then there's a small one down here. He's selling ice cream along with his stuff, So it's, and then I think there's another one somewhere in the suburbs or something,
Okay.
But it's not really, But they don't have anything like that here.
Gotcha.
Charleston is Charleston.
Right.
They have to open up sometime or another.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Very conservative.
Yeah, too conservative, right? They have to.
So, well, thank you for showing me around.
And when it comes to us, then the United States is too conservative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fresh pralines, nice. Sign me up. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that one looks nice right there. Okay. What are we looking at?
666.
I'm about to get into this praline. What? Right now. Guess how much it costs. Let me show you. Oh, those 6s. I'm gonna just keep a positive mindset. That is good numbers. Let's see. So sweet. It is fresh. I wish it was a little bit warmer. Okay, so that has the better praline right there. For sure. I could taste the butter in that one. Good stuff. So I'm gonna keep walking, head back to my motorcycle, and keep this journey on 2 wheels. Stay tuned.
Oh, you know what? I can see.
Okay, you all see it. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. Actually about to head out. Hyman seafood is pretty good. I ate there one time before. A lot of fried food. But I won't be eating today because I'm on 2s. And it's time to go. It's time to continue this journey. And I need to save some energy for this 6-hour ride to Virginia. Just a little 6-piece. I haven't really eaten anything, which is the plan, because that's something you don't want to do when you're on a journey. Well, I don't do it because I don't want to have too many bowel movements, and then I don't want to get sleepy because food makes you sleepy. So I had my praline, ate off that, super sweet, and had a good time on the carriage ride. Now we'll continue on because these boots ain't made for walking. They're made for riding. I see my baby, she's safe and sound. I don't think nobody messed with her. They better not, because it's HondaHarleyGurl. Okay, y'all, I am heading out of Charleston, South Carolina. But before I get out of here, I gotta take my mural pic before the sun goes down. I actually have 2 murals that I found, and I'm going to take a picture with them and then hit I-95 north to Virginia. I'm afraid the temperature is going to drop on me. No, I'm not afraid. I know it's going to drop. I know that temperature is going to drop, but that's okay because I got all of my necessary gear on me, so we gonna be all right. I'll get there like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Come on, baby. Strader University. I gotta show Chibu that was Strader University. Maybe that's a good sign. Keep going, keep going. And we are pulling up on the first mural. Let me get over. It better, okay, I was about to talk junk. Oh my gosh, okay, it's the same. I see there's a homeless encampment in front of it, so we're gonna be real quick right here. Lord. Or maybe that's people getting rid of stuff. I'm not quite sure. This will not be my submittal pic because it's too trashy out here. But since I'm here, I'm gonna get the pic. Got it. Child. Next case. I hope the next one is not covered. I would love to be like right under the bridge, but we got it done. That's enough. All right, let's go to our next location, which is 8 minutes north. I'm hoping that this is in the correct route. Right, okay, so I'm not like going out my way to go to this. Bet, let's do it. On the way to the next mural. Hopefully it's not covered by a dumpster. Why did I come down here? I don't even know. Oh, I would have loved to see Mother Bethel. I'm pretty sure it's south of me. I'm gonna put it in the GPS and see what it says. Ah, yep, it's south of me. So I'm not gonna add that. Next time, I wish I would have thought about that sooner. Get it up, get it up, get it up! Woo! My favorite thing to do. Stand on 2 wheels. God dang it. Train coming. I could have ran it, but stay alive, stay patient. Oh, Circle K is right there. You know, I'm gonna hit up that Circle K and then I'll go to the mural pic. Okay, see? Make sure no train not coming still, child. Cause I don't know what that was about. How much the gas? Okay. We go fill up here, take the mural pic, and go on to Virginia. See y'all real soon. Okay, y'all, it's your girl HHG, and I'm leaving Charleston, South Carolina, headed to Williamsburg, Virginia. I got 6.5 hours of ride time. A little 6-piece. Nothing to the kid. We love riding. Y'all pray for me. Keep me safe. Like the older gentleman just told me, we gotta stay patient and persistent. So I take all those good words of wisdom to heart as I ride on my journey. I found 2 nice murals, so I was going for the black lady mural, but as I was pulling up, Richard Pryor was there as well, so I got a picture with both. Really dope. Painted by women. So that's really awesome. I am determined to get all 25 murals. Okay, so y'all wish me luck. It's a little breezy out here, and I'm riding at night, so I think I may have to put my jeans over these pants and put my motorcycle jacket on. I'll do that on my next gas stop. But anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Happy riding. Enjoy the ride. Talk to you later.